I finally figured out why my new manager keeps asking for updates every 2 hours, and once I understood it, everything changed about how I showed up at work.
So my old manager got promoted, and the new one came in hot with a completely different style. And suddenly, I'm getting pinged about these two things that I've been working on independently for years. Every decision needed this little check-in. Every email gets a
loop me in on that.
And I'll be honest, my first reaction was frustration. I felt like I was being treated like a child, and like I didn't know what I was doing. But then there was this moment when I sat down and actually thought about what it must have been like to step into the role where you're responsible for work that you're not doing yourself anymore. That's kind of terrifying. Think about it. They're probably laying awake at night, wondering if something's gonna fall through the cracks on their watch. They're trying to prove that they deserve this promotion that they just got, just like I would be. So instead of getting annoyed and doing the bare minimum, I started doing something different. I began sending a brief proactive update before they were even asked for. Not a long report, just a quick message like, hey, finish that client presentation and sent it over. They responded positively. Next step is that we're scheduling a follow-up. It was just like 30 seconds of my time, but it gave them visibility without having to chase me down. Then I started asking them specifically what they were worried about. Not in this defensive way, but like in this genuinely curious, I want to make your job better way. The question went a little like this. I want to make sure I'm giving you the information that you need. What would be most helpful for you to see from me? That conversation alone changed our entire dynamic because suddenly we were on the same team, trying to solve the same problems, instead of me feeling controlled and them feeling anxious. The biggest shift came though when I started walking them through how I actually do my work. I invited them to a client call, not because they needed to be there, but just so that they could see my process. I showed them the tracking system I used, the way I prioritize my tasks, and then the backup plans I have in place. Once they could see I had a real system in place and I wasn't just winging it, the constant check-ins dropped almost to zero. The thing that nobody tells you is that you don't have to wait for your manager to figure out how to trust you. You can actually help them get there faster by making your work visible, understanding what they're worried about, and showing them that you've got systems in place. 3 months later, I had more autonomy than I had before, and our relationship is actually stronger because I chose to see them as a person trying to figure this out, not as someone just trying to control me. How have you made your boss's life a little more complicated than it needed to be? On accident, of course. Let me know in the comments.